Do you struggle with low energy, requiring ungodly amounts of caffeine just to get by? Are you disappointed because you can't satisfy your partner in the bedroom due to low testosterone? Or are you upset that you're no longer as beautiful as you once were? You've got wrinkles now, but you're not old.
You're not old! You're not!
Red light therapy claims to help with all that and more. From testosterone to hair loss, inflammation to skin health, workout recovery times, and even aiding those with dementia, Parkinson's, and diabetes. But wait just a minute, I don't have any of those diseases, I still have all my hair, and I'm actually a rather ordinary and fit person. Why would I go out and spend $1,100 on my college student salary to try one of these for myself? To start, I wanted to improve my scars, as I have a lot of them. I also wanted to shrink these fatty cysts around my body, as I have a lot of them as well. I also wanted to share some of these benefits with my family, as some of them are not as fortunate as me and do have chronic pains and such. And ultimately, I just wanted to become healthier in general. I'm not unhealthy, but it became a hobby of mine to experiment with new ways to optimize my health. So with that in mind, I couldn't help but give red light therapy a shot. We'll start off with the main benefits. The first is that red light therapy is like my coffee. It gives me that bump in the morning that everyone else gets from coffee, except here's the thing, I actually find red light therapy more rejuvenating than coffee. Sometimes so much so that I can skip morning caffeine altogether, assuming that I did have enough sleep the night before. I also noticed that since the last video when my acne improved, my acne hasn't gotten any better since then, but it also hasn't gotten any worse. And I believe my scars have improved as well. Watch till the end if you want to see the before and after. But another benefit I've noticed is that rainy days affect me a lot less. On a rainy day without red light therapy, I'd feel terribly groggy and sluggish. But after some red light therapy and either a cup of coffee or some exercise, I'll feel significantly better. Almost as good as if I had had some red light therapy on a sunny day. And this is awesome because now I have the control. The clouds no longer dictate whether or not I feel good on any given day. And sometimes I can literally see the difference between myself and someone that's feeling terribly groggy because of the weather. I look fine, but they, not so much. Are you okay?
Huh?
You feel okay now?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Coffee and red light therapy? I feel great.
My skin also feels much more moist and healthy than it ever did before red light therapy, and I rarely lotion. The only time I really ever do is after a sunburn, which red light therapy also helps with. I'm also still pooping rather regularly. Of course, I know the food that you consume matters, but it's worth noting I only ever found this noticeable whenever I first started red light therapy and after I got back from a vacation. As for muscle recovery, all I can really say is that my legs usually stay sore for a day or two longer than my chest or my back. But this makes sense because I rarely do a session on my legs, but I do a session on my chest and back nearly every day. I recently tested this by doing a leg session while they were sore, and only 2 hours afterward, my legs felt significantly better. And I also just enjoy it. It gets the blood pumping and makes me feel alive. Kind of like when you lay out in the sun, you just feel better. And when I do shine the sucker on my balls, I do feel more raring and ready to go for the day. I've also got a before and after measurement of my testosterone, so keep watching to figure out if it improved or not. However, as much as I love it and all that it can do, red light therapy did come with a few challenges. Fitting it into my routine proved to be the biggest challenge. Being the type of person that likes to get up and hit the ground running, it was incredibly annoying to be chained to this panel for 20 minutes every single morning when I had a bunch of other things that I needed to do before I went to school. Oh frick, I gotta go. I gotta go. Eventually though, I just got used to it. It's one of the first things that I do in the morning right after peeing and brushing my teeth, so I get it out of the way as soon as I can. And then more of my classes went online and then I graduated, so this became less of an issue anyway. But what do you do while you're standing there for 20 straight minutes? Obviously I could increase my screen time, but I don't want to do that. That's a terrible way to start the day. You might think, this is a perfect opportunity to meditate, but that would be wrong. I'll explain. Meditating while standing sucks. So I lowered the panel and tried sitting. This works for my back, but turn around and now all of a sudden you are significantly further away from the panel, which ultimately gets you a significantly lower dosage of light, and coordinating a guided meditation with your session is just annoying. If the panel shuts off before the meditation is over, suddenly now the room is silent and the warmth is gone, which takes you out of it. Or at least it did me. Maybe I just need to get better at meditation. So instead, usually I'll just stand there and think, or I'll do some breathing exercises while I face the panel, and whenever I turn around, usually I'll put some scar cream on, and then read a book. Occasionally, I do still use my phone though. Along with these challenges though, I found that red light therapy really isn't the answer for everything, even though it kind of claims to be. Remember those fatty cysts that I was so hopeful that red light therapy would shrink? Unfortunately, what little improvement I thought I saw in my 30-day video was a complete farce. Not only are they all still there, but they haven't shrunk whatsoever. Actually, I think I may have gained 1 or 2, which really sucks, because now I'm gonna have to find some other way to get rid of them.
You ready, Damien?
I guess so. I can also reconfirm a point that I made in my last red light therapy video, and that is that red light therapy is definitely not a replacement for the sun. Every morning, so long as it isn't raining, after I do my red light therapy, I go outside for a short walk. And at least 1 day a week, I try to spend as much time outside as I possibly can. Because as helpful as the red and near infrared light rays are, my panel produces no UVB rays, which are the rays that are responsible for producing vitamin D in the body. By now, everyone knows how important vitamin D is. And in my own personal experience, the one thing that most directly correlates to how good I feel on any given day is my sleep. If my sleep is crap, or if I don't get enough, I'm gonna feel tired and terrible. A shower, a cup of coffee, and some red light therapy, and I'll feel a lot better, but still not as much as if I had just had a good night's sleep to begin with. So who would benefit from red light therapy? Truly, I think everyone could benefit from it. The real question is just who needs it. I think it worked out perfectly for me because I spend so much of my time inside, and if it wasn't for red light therapy, then I wouldn't have done the research necessary to really understand or appreciate just how vital sunlight exposure is. So if you're like me and you spend a lot of time inside and you have the money, I say go for it. Or if you live in an area that's rainy or cloudy a lot of the year, or if you suffer or think you suffer from seasonal affective disorder, I highly recommend you try out red light therapy, even if you only use it during the winters or on rainy days. And for those of you looking for some of the other benefits, like reversing hair loss, higher testosterone, or healthier skin, or you have or know someone who has Alzheimer's, diabetes, or Parkinson's, and you have the money, it can't hurt. But like I mentioned earlier, I don't have any of those problems, nor do I have any of those diseases. So unfortunately, I cannot really speak on that. However, if you work outside or you just spend a lot of time outside and it's sunny a lot where you live and you don't have any of those problems, or you're just on a really tight budget right now, I don't think red light therapy is necessary for you. A lot of benefits can be gleaned from just getting outside more and getting more sunlight exposure and vitamin D. Plus, the sun emits these red and near infrared light rays in the early morning and late evening anyway, and it's free. You just have to make sure that you catch it. So given that it's worth it for some people, but not necessary for others, would I buy it again? Long story short, yes, and not just because I had a video that did pretty well. Actually, as a matter of fact, I already have. After purchasing mine in March of 2022 and letting several of my friends and family try it, one of my friends has bought one. My grandfather has bought not 1, not 2, but 7 panels. And for Christmas, my sister and I bought our mother 2 panels.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much.
On a horizontal stand for lay-down sessions used off of eBay. Once a week I get to use this setup and it is amazing, and I end up with significantly higher doses of red light. 1, because it's bigger, and also 2, because it's significantly more relaxing. Because of that, I also take longer sessions, and I get even more red light. And now finally for the before and after. You'll notice that I was slightly leaner a year ago, and I got better at lighting, which explains why I look more muscular here on the right, even though I swear I could do more pull-ups on the left. My acne improved, but admittedly I was expecting a more drastic change. And like I said, my cysts didn't change, but the biggest difference is in my scars. This one is smoother and has less color. This one improved significantly. This one hardly even exists anymore. And even though it doesn't show it, this one got much better in person. And as for my testosterone, above my sound panels here, I've got these little rolls. Let me show you how this is gonna work. All I gotta do is pull this cord. 661 is my before measurement from June of 2021. Over here though is my measurement after 1 year of red light therapy. Wait, 577? What the frick? Why the frick did that go down? Believe me, I wish I knew. When I got this number, I was extremely depressed because of a breakup. So imagine I was mega confused whenever I got this number, and I'm not even depressed anymore. This is 84 points less. Then it hit me. My sex drive actually has gone down quite a bit, and I have been relying on caffeine a bit more. Have I ever been able to satisfy a partner? And then I found it. When I got my testosterone checked this time, I got the comprehensive test, and my prolactin was oddly high at 17.5 nanograms per milliliter. But what is prolactin? A quick Google search and I learned that prolactin is the hormone released in a woman's body during pregnancy and after childbirth that makes her breasts grow and start to produce milk. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted as a straight white man in his mid-20s. You know, I don't think I wanted kids anyway. This is no joke though. A couple days after I got these results, I gave my nipples a squeeze, and sure enough, white discharge came out of both of them.
No freaking way.
Yes.
No, they didn't.
Yes. So, oh wait, what's this? I'm freaking out. So I went to the doctor less than a month later, where they took my labs again, and my testosterone was measured at 605. Great. And my prolactin was measured at 10.4 nanograms per milliliter, which is higher than I'd like, but at least it's in the normal range. So I'm basically back to normal, right? But why did this happen to begin with? I wish I knew. My guess is because... Okay, you wanna try that again? My guess is that this result happened because when I took this test, I was around a bunch of kids and a small baby, which likely raised my prolactin, which inhibits testosterone, hence making it go down. All of this to say that I don't think that red light therapy was the reason that my testosterone dropped. I couldn't find anything on the internet about red light therapy raising prolactin levels in anyone. Instead, everything said that red light therapy was great at raising testosterone. So really, I probably should have shined it on my balls more often. It's probably the only reason my testosterone didn't go down even further. Also, if you were curious about my testicle measurements from the last video, they didn't change. Now, those of you with a keen eye may have noticed there are 2 years in between these two measurements, and there's a reason for that. I apologize. See, I want to provide you guys with value, but I did not have enough foresight to think I needed to get my testosterone checked when I started red light therapy. The only reason I even took this test to get this result was because I thought there was something wrong with me. Still yet though, I'm not aware of any other red light therapy video where they include blood work, so at least I've got that. The main reason I got the panel was for my own personal experience anyway. Testosterone was not the main goal. But owning a red light therapy panel for a whole year is not the whole story. You're probably wondering what it's like to try it out for the very first time, which is why you need to watch this video that contains both my first impressions and my full experience of what it's like to own one for 30 days.